Hey cohort, it is Jordan again. Alright, let's look on how to enter data into our data set here. So if you're looking at your data set, you'll have either 2.1 or 1.1. And once you've excuse me, once you've changed 153 variable in your variable view and you're ready to start entering data in, go over here to your data view. Now depending on how you want to enter in the participant's name, I think like I'll probably be doing that once you email me all your individual ones. So for now, just keep them organized here, I guess, and then I'll enter them into one that'll stay the same for the second set of data. So here's your first participant. Here's question 1 on the material value survey, and let's say that they answered 2. So we just enter 2 in there. And so you can see that when I enter 2, now it says agree. Now the reason it says that is there's a button right here. It says value labels on the top here. You can click that and it will change your value labels back and forth between just the numbers that you set to represent the words or the words. So keep them on the words for now if you want to. It makes a little more sense. So for question 2, let's say they answered 4. Question 3, 5, question 5, 2. So you can see here as we enter this data, it's showing us what they answered. But you can switch it back and look at it this way too, depending on really what you're looking for. So as we go down the survey, excuse me, you'll get to demographics here at the end. You'll have age, gender or sex, education, race. And so for these, we're going to look at our demographics page, information page that Daniel printed out for us. And you'll see the age is the years that they entered. So let's say they entered 23. The gender, we changed that. So 1 equals male and 2 equals female. So let's say 2. And then again, if we hit this button up here, we can see that 2 is female. Education, we can see that we have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or other. So that would be freshman 1, sophomore 2, junior 3, senior 4. And you can see that also if you go to the variable view. If you have a question about how this is entered, go to the variable view. Let's go down here and find education. Here. Oops. 154. Let's look at the values. Let's see what they're set to. So we see here that if we enter number 1 in, that equals freshman. If we enter number 2 in, that equals sophomore, and so on. Now this is the same for like race. This is the same for gender. These will be set by you or by somebody who's making the data set. And so you'll enter in the appropriate number for that participant's answer. So let's go back to the data view at the bottom here. Education, and if we see that they've answered junior, then we put 3, and then we see that that equals junior. So for race, say they entered 7, other. Now we're not going to enter in the words other. So if somebody marked other, let's just keep it other. Other was their answer. But for example, 4, white, 3, Asian American, 2, Indian or Alaskan. So here you can switch back and forth between the words and the numbers with this button. It's very helpful. So that's how you answer for race. And for each one, you guys can figure it out. You can go to the variable view, find your values. Now don't change them unless you tell me about it, because then we all know that they're different, but I ask you not to change them. And then you can see what the numbers represent. So for this one, 1 equals high school, 2 equals a GED. That's for the GED question. For GPA, there's no value. You'll just enter in the number. So let's go back out to data view. GPA, they entered a 3.9, then it equals a 3.9. So that's when it's good to not have a value set. when you're working with just numbers. Okay, well, I hope that makes sense. And again, you'll have, I think, probably 10, I guess each person has 10 participants. So your data will look a little bit more beefy. But anyway, send me some questions if you want. I hope that makes sense.